So guys, today I'm going to talk why I don't like time travels in fictions. Firstly, you know, if we were to speak realistically, time travel is just not possible because, like, suppose if this were the current timeline, right, and you were to spend all this time and then you time traveled all the way back here, right? All this entropy, it just cannot disappear. So, like, we can argue that fiction is fiction and it could be possible, but I cannot enjoy them because I apply this thing that I believe that there are parallel universes. For example, if time travel really could exist, right? When we time travel from this point to this point all the way back, we would actually not go back to the same universe. Suppose if all of these universes, right, consider these as the same parallel universes, yeah. And if I were to live this life here, yeah, so if I were to go from point, and if I were to go from point B to point A, then I would not be in this universe no longer. I would be in another universe where all of this stuff have not happened yet. So this is what actually solved the paradox. Many people would ask, like, if time travel were to be possible and we travel back in time and kill our, game and our grandfather, then would we live? Well, to answer that, this theory of parallel universes could actually kind of solve it, but it's just a theory at the end. So if suppose this is our present, right, and we time travel all the way back to the past and we killed our ancestors, right, what would happen is that our world that we used to be in would not be affected. We would simply travel to another parallel universe where nothing of this has happened yet. So if we were to kill them here, then yes, we would not exist in this particular parallel universes. And if we were to travel back to our current parallel universes, nothing would have changed. But for this one, we would have changed something. We would no longer exist, and this would no longer go as this. So why I can't enjoy time travel is that, suppose in those time travel videos, or in those time travel fictions, the main character would be like I can always time travel back, right? And so he would fail to save the heroines or the friends or the for the main character, it's so easy to time travel back. So what I'm trying to say is, when the main character fails to save them, right, from some horrible death, and then the main character just goes back, right, I believe that the universe where they died or the main character friends died is actually true. So suppose at this point the main character loses his friends, right, and the main character simply just went back here. This universes, it just doesn't disappear. This much amount of entropy, it just cannot completely disappear. So what I believe happens is the main character simply goes to another parallel universe where none of that has happened yet, and so he can save them in this universe. But this universe is already doomed, and this universe will go on with the tragedy that happened. And when I think of that, it makes me sad, to think that all the times where the main characters regress back or go back to the past when he fails to save his friends, those universe actually happens. You know what I mean? So that kind of fucks me up, But then again, on the other hand, I also do believe that there is an infinite amount of parallel universes, and the one where we are currently, the one where we are here, that's the one that's the one that should matter the most. But when you think about it this way, it kind of makes you sad, But then again, it is what it is. I guess another good analogy would be, suppose this is our current timeline, right? And then let's say there's a man named Tom here. And Tom, if we were to keep on going in the same universe, Tom would grow up to be a super villain. And he would destroy the earth, let's say. And in another universe, that same shit happens, but the other universe is way farther ahead of us, like in terms of the time, you know, like for us it is 2025, but for them it could be 2045 or something like that, right? And they knew that Tom is a threat to the world, and so they developed a time machine, right? So let this be the thing of my film has. But so the other parallel universe people are here, and they knew that Tom would be a threat, and so what they did is they invented time machine, and the time machine, they went back to the past. But the problem is that the past is actually not their timeline. They went back to our past. This, you know, the one where it is 2025 for us. And they killed Tom in this world. And they went back. So, to them, nothing would have changed. Tom would have still lived in their timeline. But for us, the possibility of Tom becoming a supervillain is no longer there, because these people have killed Tom and prevented any chance of him becoming a supervillain. You know what I mean? But I also would like to add something, you know. I do believe that, how would I say it? Like, our timeline, you know, let's say this is the base timeline that we are living in, that we are currently in. The most realistic reality, or how would I say? Yeah, this is the one where we are currently in. This is something that can never be changed, you know. It's like a ever-changing constant, I would say, because it doesn't matter how much we go. None of the parallel universes where time travel is like invented could interact with us, because suppose if any of these universes were to interact with us, then our universe would no longer, our current universe would no longer be a universe where, you know, it's the base template. It would be one of these many universes. But could we say that it's not reality anymore? Well, not really, because at the end of the day, like I said, in which universe, whatever universe we are, you know, that is our reality. So even though, you know, so pretty much, yeah, this is why I don't like, you know, time travel in my fiction, you know. Like, those scary stuff actually happens to the characters in another timeline. Also, speaking of entropy, you know, I actually believe that entropy tends to infinity, right? Many people would say that entropy keeps on increasing, and so it would, and so it's infinite, right? But like, let's consider this, right? Let's consider a system, right? A system. So let's this system be like one bedroom, right? Where a single person exists. We could say that the entropy tends to, you know, maximize, keeps on increasing. But suppose, let's take the arrangement of, you know, like small particles, like quarks, you know. So suppose there's thousand billions of quarks, right? And at t is equal to 0, let's have them be arranged in a specific manner, okay? My pen has run out, but I don't have an extra ink, so just bear with me. So if they're arranged in a specific manner, and at t is equal to 0.000000001, so like dt, you know, very small time, very small time change. Let's have one of the quarks be moved to the next, right? So in that way, if we keep on increasing the time, you know, there would be a finite amount of combinations where these quarks can appear. And now, let's consider not only the quarks, but the human standing here, right? If we consider his brain and all his cells, all the arrangement, they have a limited number of combinations that could appear, right? You know, even the brains, the data that is processed there, it is not infinite, right? The combinations of how they can be arranged is a finite number, but it is so big that we could say it is infinite, but it's not really infinite, right? So when we consider the whole world, you know, the whole world, there's so many stuff, and we may say like the entropy tends to like be infinite. Yeah, it does tend to infinite, but it's actually not infinite, you know, because every single quarks, every single atoms in the whole world, they actually have a finite amount of combinations. And when we are taking time from 0 to infinity, there could be there could be an instance where all of the arrangement are arranged in such a way that no possible new arrangement are possible. You know what I mean? Oh man, I don't really know how to explain it well without a diagram, but my pen has run out of ink, so oh well. Anyways, that's really what I wanted to say, And yeah, speaking of entropy, like when we time travel, all this entropy should just be lost, just disappear out of nowhere. No, from nowhere, from anything, to just disappear. I don't think that is right. So that's why parallel universes has to exist if time travel has to be possible. You know what I mean? So essentially, even if you time travel back and kill your grandfather or grandmother, you would not change a thing here. At the very least, you would change the future, for the parallel universes that you travel to, but you will actually not change a thing for your current world. You know what I mean? That's pretty much about it,